Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to another Team Stamp Together. I know it has been a while since I've seen some of your faces, and I apologize. I have kind of taken a summer hiatus, I call it. Lawn bowling has gotten the best of me, and I really thoroughly enjoyed sitting out on the greens doing absolutely nothing but watching lawn bowl. But when I do that, my phone is put away in my bag, like I'm literally disconnected. And by the time I come home, I'm just so hot and I just throw my phone on the charger and I don't look at it again. So that has been my life. I am okay. So thank you to all of you guys who have been reaching out to checking in. But I'm excited that we do get to stamp together. And Kim, I'm excited for your projects and I can't wait for you to show us what's in your little bag because it's very, very intriguing. But before we do, I just want to start us off by doing some celebrations. Oh, it looks like Sue is trying to get on tonight. She's looking for the link. Did you guys all use one that you saved somewhere else, or was it easy to get to today?
It's easy. I just clicked on the join button.
Yeah.
Me too. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to see if I can. Just because we're recording now, I don't want to waste all this time. I don't know how to get into my messages.
Is there someone else I can message?
Yeah, Cheryl, can you just send, if down at the bottom of your screen, you should be able just to where it shows participants, you can put copy invite link. So it's copied on your thing and then you can just put it in your text message. Oh, you're on mute. So if you click the little arrow on that's beside participants, there's like a little arrow on the button. And then it says invite and copy invite link. That's how we can like copy and send it to someone. Really quick and easy.
I don't see it, sorry.
I have it, but I'm trying to find where I send it to.
Yeah, sorry. My messages aren't here on this computer.
Participants.
What we're
Oh,
doing.
invite. Oh, okay. I see. You click invite and then choose a mail service. No, it says mail service.
There should be copy invite.
I sent it to her in Messenger.
Okay, thank you, Chantel. Thank you.
Okay.
She'll get it. Okay, but we do want to do some celebrations first before we get into anything, because you guys, there's a whole lot to celebrate. And mostly it's all of you. So Karen, I'm glad you're here because I do not know when this happened, but you promoted to Bronze Elite.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow.
I don't know if that was last month or the month before because my stats don't tell me that. So if anyone ever does get a promotion, please make sure you let me know because I might miss it. It's just there was something that happened in my stats that I had to go research, and then I was just looking at all the Bronze Elite and I saw your name on there. So congratulations, you get 25% discount now on it.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a good deal. And then we've got Charlene, who's on our stamping team. She's celebrating 2 years with Stampin' Up. It's her stamp anniversary. But of course, yes, celebrate you. But of course, Charlene's been with us for many, many years. It's one of those things where people sign up, they drop, they sign up and drop. So I'm only keeping track of what Stampin' Up is sharing on my reports. So she's definitely been stamping with us for a lot longer, but for sure the last 2 years. And now that Sue's on, Sue also fits that category, except she has been full 2 years. This month in September, she'll be celebrating 2 years. So congratulations to you, Sue. And for birthdays this month, we have a couple on our team. So Chantel, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I got to get rid of the blur, but my thing is so messy. Okay, just wait. I'm going to get rid of my blur just because I got to celebrate you. Okay, and then also Marilee's birthday is this month. So happy birthday, Marilee.
Yeah, it is the same day.
Are they the same day?
Hers and mine are the same day, yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. So yeah, just a friendly reminder in our stamping group, we do have a happy mail folder where people have updated their addresses. So just make sure that your address is up to date and send some happy mail if you're feeling generous. I am very bad at it. And so I admit it. You guys all know it. Whip me in the butt if you want to see mail. Make some comments. I have full intentions of doing it on Sundays. It just never works. And this is why we have the lovely Deborah, who makes beautiful cards for us to send them so that your birthday isn't missed. However, she's only able to do that based on current reports that I give her. So if she's missed one, like if your birthday's been in the last few months, maybe just let me know. Because I commit to getting you a new report, Deborah. I tried today, but it just didn't want to send. So I'll have to find a way to get that to you another way. Okay, so those are the celebrations that I love. Is there anything else that you guys are celebrating or that you're excited about? Cheryl, you're like into, month 1 of being a great grandma. How has that been? Oh, you're on mute.
I'm snacking, that's why. I didn't want to hear you hear crunching on the peanuts. Yeah, no, she's fantastic.
Aw,
She's a real sweetheart. I saw her last week again. She came to visit. So
nice. And then I know many of you are dealing with back to school, mostly grandkids. Hey, Sue, or are you out of that business now?
I'm still in that business, and hockey started.
Oh, and hockey. Yeah.
Yeah, we had evaluations all weekend.
Very good. And Kim, your kids are back at school?
Yep, 3rd year university in grade 12.
Very good.
Wow.
Very good. Anything that you're celebrating, Karen?
No, not that I can think of at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't think so, me either. Other than, I don't know, you guys are gonna hear from the rooftops because I gotta tell everyone that Kira did win gold. She is the 3rd, I don't know what you want to call it, the national champion 3 years in a row for junior.
Wow.
fantastic.
Yep,
Great.
Wow.
pretty
Awesome.
exciting. So it was kind of a trip. I was glad I was there because I was actually thinking I wasn't gonna go, but I was like, if that happens, then it's kind of like not really cool if mom's not there to support her. And then yeah, she went back to school too. So she's now a U of A student, kind of navigating the hallways there, which has been really interesting.
What did she decide on?
Well, she's taking all of her electives that she needs towards her program that she wanted to take in Calgary that was full. So she's just working this year, doing the 3 electives and gonna go back. It's some sort of sport, leisure and recreation program. It's basically like the systems and operations of sport facilities. So it's like, oh, okay. She's got a sports, she didn't know what she wanted to do, and sports has kind of been a passion. So she's moving from design to sports. I don't get it, but whatever. She has goals. Okay, so before we get into Kim's beautiful cards, I just want to remind everyone Christmas season is coming. So get your Christmas card classes ready if you're someone who is thinking about doing Christmas cards, whether that be a Stamp-A-Stack, maybe it's doing Christmas cards for Facebook Lives. But I just can't believe we're like 108 days away from Christmas. That is it. Like the countdown is on for me. But not until I kind of get through the scrapbook retreat weekend. So my countdown on my phone takes us to the scrapbook weekend. After that it will be Christmas. On stage. Okay, maybe before we talk on stage, let's talk backstage. So backstage is the Stampin' Up! Convention that alternates between in-person and virtual. And it's intended for leaders of the Stampin' Up! Family. So ideally, Silver Elite and above. However, so I did register. So I am registered. It's November something. November 8th and 9th is Backstage Online. So I am registered. But what we're doing this year is I'm going to team up with Brenda Nelson, who's also on our team, who has a large downline. And the two of us are going to invite any one of our demonstrators who are leaders or aspiring to be a leader. You just have to have at least one downline or an inspiring leader to come and spend the day with us to kind of watch the online portion of the content. So we just kind of share that this whole conference is actually focused on leaders. So the talks that they talk about, it's based on leadership books. They've got Brenda Sturr, who's one of the leader trainers coming to speak to us. And there's another speaker, I forget the name right now. But anyways, it's 2 half days. It looks like it's from about 10 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon each day, the Friday and the Saturday. And then they have different networking events throughout the afternoon and other little topics to review. Now, we're working with Cheryl to try and see if we can meet at the tree farm, kind of to put that on. But that date might change that we talked with Cheryl, because I'm going to talk to Brenda about doing it after the event so that we're not stuck waiting for different things to happen, that we can kind of just flow everything all together. But stay tuned for that. We'll see where that goes. But again, if you're a leader, an aspiring leader, if it sounds like something you'd be interested in, then you can come and hang out with us to watch that online. We're just purchasing one and inviting our friends to join us. Yes, Cheryl.
I didn't get back to you what Jeff said or not. No, I didn't.
I think you just said there wasn't going to be a problem.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Yeah.
I checked with him and he said, yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll still confirm with you that date still go once I talk to Brenda.
Okay. We're not open that time of year. No problem.
Okay, good. Does anyone have questions about Backstage, the leadership convention? Okay. So then that leads me into Onstage. So Onstage registration is getting ready to come here right away. Onstage is the all demonstrator convention, and it's in person. And this year it's in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it's in March. I have a little dilemma because apparently it's over the same weekend that I booked a scrapbook retreat, which leads me to believe the only reason why there was one space available next year was because it probably was Sherry Ross, and then she canceled it when Onstage was open. So I'm going to kind of do a poll with you guys to see who wants to go to Onstage in person, because I think it would be so much fun if you guys are able to make it work to go in person to the convention. I know it can be really, really costly. And so I've actually done up a budget that I'm going to share with you guys, assuming it's going to let me actually share my screen. Because apparently he won't let me share my screen anywhere. Of course it won't. Okay. No, this is a problem, actually. It's because I need to be in Google, and I'm not in Google. I'm in the other one. Because I did a presentation for you guys, because for the little game and stuff we're doing with regards to the new catalog afterwards. Oh, and my tech guy's sleeping. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I did a budget for you guys. I will post it in the group once we're done the meeting. But basically, what I did was try to break it down how much to save between now and March to try and make it work. So basically, my estimations, they're probably low. I tried to be a little on the high side just to give some buffer, but based on what I did, it was about $1,850 for everything. So for your registration, your airfare, hotel, I put swaps in just to make sure that you could order like one of the current stamp sets or bundles, just some product there to do card swaps. And then your
drinks.
And what's that?
Drinks? Did you include those?
Drinks? Well, that would fall under your food budget.
Libations.
And then some extras. So I came up for a total of $1,850, but I actually always budget $2,500 for each of these events, just because I know I end up going out for drinks, or I end up doing a bunch of extra things because there's usually a Margaritaville in town. I checked, but there's not one here, so I'm good. I'm not going to be spending a lot of money, so I'm going to try and make it as low as possible. But it also includes 2 people sharing a hotel room. So that
where is it at?
What's that?
Where is it at?
It's in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't know the hotel yet because Stampin' Up! Hasn't released anything, but November 6th is when registration opens. So mark your calendars, think about whether or not it's something you might want to do. The budget I'm posting is based on 2 people sharing a room, but I am happy to share with 4 people if anyone wants to share a bed to reduce the cost of hotel room, because that's usually what costs the most on these trips. I checked airfare. It's around $700, but I'm assuming you can find cheaper ones closer to. or once they know there's a lot of people traveling, they might put more flights out, because right now there's just minimal flights, but just something to kind of consider. And then because registration opens in November, like this month for September, I'm suggesting if you could try and put aside $150 if it's something you want to do. Registration last year was 125. I've just upped it by 25 in case they decide to increase it. Hopefully not. But then you'll have the money ready for November when that opens up. In October, I have a suggested $400 put aside. November is $350. So they're still kind of on the high leading into Christmas. But in December, I budgeted $100. January $350, February $250, and March $250, just to pay for the hotel room. So I'll share that. You guys can take a look at it, adjust it the way you might need it. But it would be so much fun if some people could join me in North Carolina. That is the only way I travel, is through these Stampin' Up events. This is how I've done all my vacations. It's because I go wherever Stampin' Up leads me, because it's always a fun time. There's lots of free stuff. You get to see all the new catalog, you get new product, and you come home with the new catalog and meet all kinds of friends, do some swapping. It's just a whole lot of fun. Okay, done with that sales pitch, but I will post that budget for you guys to take a look at and consider. And then I'll kind of maybe in a month's time do a little poll to see what people are thinking, whether or not I should have the retreat or go to on stage, because I really need to cancel that if I'm.
What are the dates?
It's the 13th, 14th, and 15th of March, 2025. So I don't know if that falls within spring break, because I don't have
Nope.
kids in school anymore. No, it
It
doesn't.
doesn't. No. I have my ski trip booked. It's the last week of March.
Okay. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, usually the Stampin' Up stuff doesn't really align with school.
No.
Okay. So that is on stage. Any questions about that? Mark November 6th. That's when registration opens. So you'll see more details leading up to that. Okay. And then with that, we're going to go into a fun game, maybe.
Don't forget World Card Making Day. You can register for that for free right now.
Yes, thank you, Kim. World Card Making Day is open. It's October 5th, which is the same day as Creative Carnival. I don't know if it's going to share, if they will share the replay or if it's a live only event. I don't have those details.
I think it is a replay, but I think it comes out on the 8th.
Okay, so sign up for the free event, because then you can make the cards afterwards if you're at the on stage or at the Creative Day Carnival, which is the same day, October 5th. Registration for that goes till September 15th if you want to participate in the make and takes. But you can register right up to the date or show up at the door if you don't want the make and take option.
And plus, you get a free gift if you sign up.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Kim. I need you to be my salesperson on that one. And it's for anyone. It's open to demonstrators, customers. You can bring whoever you want to that. And they don't even have to be part of our team. They can be from anywhere. Okay. That. And then the new holiday catalog. Do you guys have the catalog handy?
Oh, I just had it here. Where did it go? Hang on.
That's okay. Take your time, because I'm trying to find how I can share my presentation with you guys. This is really gonna suck. You know what? I bet it's because I have it open. It doesn't. Yeah, sometimes these programs don't like it when I have other programs open. I wonder if that's why. Yeah, let me download it and see.
Is it Raleigh?
Yeah, RALEIGH.
Okay.
North Carolina.
I thought you said Riley, and I'm like, I can't find anywhere called Riley.
Yeah, but that's how you say it.
It's Raleigh.
Temperature won't be really, really warm. I wonder why they're going there, but it'll be, 17, 18 kind of thing.
Plenty warm.
I do have a question for you though. There was a post on Facebook today that I saw that somebody was talking about. If somebody was looking for a demonstrator, let's say in Beaumont, where I'm at.
Yeah.
What do they do? Like if they were saying that there was mixed comments from other people, but one of the things was is if they typed in the name, then it would come up if they knew the name. But if they typed in a postal code, it may not necessarily come up unless you're DBWS, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is that the way it works?
Yeah, exactly. So that's part of the perk of having your DBWS membership. Like when you pay the extra to have the events, Stampin' Up will refer you to other demonstrators. But otherwise, if they were just, got your name and they were signing up under you, they could go and join and search your name and find you, but they wouldn't find your name in the search of the outcome there. Yeah. Is my understanding.
I'm looking at WestJet right now for $3.29.
One way.
No, that's return.
Oh.
Because it's way ahead of time. That's why.
Did you go the next step, Chantal? Because WestJet doesn't tell you the total price until you've gone through both departure and or like leaving here and then coming home.
Yeah.
Okay.
They must like you.
Oh no! See, that's their stupid thing. The ultra cheap fare is $3.29.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tricky.
So the Econo. No, you don't even want that one. Well, I guess if you have only carry on, it's $3.29. Maybe they don't have ultra basic to Raleigh.
Okay, we're gonna try this one more time now that I close that app. My screen. No, it doesn't like my screen. Okay, you guys, I'm really sorry. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. We're gonna play a game. You're gonna write down numbers 1 to 10. I will just share my beautiful presentation in the group that you guys can go through and look at after. Except, what part of the problem is that I wanted you guys, I was going to just time you, so you guys need to look at the questions. So I'm going to post the questions right now in Twist and Dabs. If you guys could go find the Twist and Dabs in Facebook. Is everyone got their phone separate from their computer of what they're on with us tonight?
Mine's being used.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can put my screen under here.
Do we need our phone, or do you want it not to be near us?
Hey, Trish, can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
Do they plan on making a catalog for the scrapbooking stuff?
Yeah, there is a catalog, but it's digital.
I know it's online, but are they going to do one like they do for the mini catalog and stuff?
No, I'm pretty sure I heard it was digital only.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will just double check that by. What's that?
In the future, is it going to only be digital, or are they going to?
I have not heard, but if I had to guess, I'm going to guess digital. But I honestly haven't heard anything about that.
But then if you think about it, by that time when we get the new annual catalog, if they've had time to switch things over, we're already going to have all that paper probably in there anyways.
Maybe, or maybe we'll just move.
Will it be intermixed with the new catalog in May? Part of the new catalog, do you think?
I don't know, because 30 years ago or 20 years ago, they had separate catalogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then eventually did slowly, but that's because they were slowly getting out of it. So honestly, I think it just depends on how popular the physical scrapbooking stuff still goes for them. Because digital scrapbooking is starting to become very, very popular.
Okay. I did hear that you can have extra kits available for cash sales if you want them. If you want to, like, if you want to order, yeah, cash and carry.
Okay, cool. Very, very good. Okay, you guys have your. You know what? I'm just gonna go through the questions with you online. we're just gonna have to go through one by one. I
Are you
think
not going to put them on your phone? Okay.
yeah. So don't need your phone now. Sorry, I really should have tested this part out beforehand and I didn't because it's been working up until now. I haven't had any problem. But then again, I haven't been opening this or Facebook in, I should have opened it in Chrome is what I should have done. Okay, anyways, just so you know, if anyone's got trouble finding where that mini catalog is on the demonstrator website, there is a short video in the presentation that I'll post that'll help you. But there's basically two spots. One, right on the home page where they highlight different things that are happening. One of the highlights is the new mini catalogs, both of them, the scrapbooking one and the holiday one. So if you click on there, it'll just take you straight to the page. The other way is if you go to your hamburger bar when you log into your demonstrator website and you scroll down to happening now and go to catalogs, and under catalogs, it lets you pick the mini catalog. But there's a little walkthrough there. What I love about this new catalog, if you guys have it handy, opening it up to page 2, they've got a table of contents here. And I love it that there's a lot broken down for new crafters. So for instance, they're showing where their step-by-step crafting kits are. They're paper crafts with full instructions to help guide the crafter. And then they've got quick and easy options to discover crafting ideas using a variety of paper pieces, cardstocks, envelopes, and more. And then they've got the creativity your way. So that's for those folks who just start from scratch. They let their imagination flow to craft something new with all the fun different products that are in there. And then of course there's the rewards and the index. But I just love this table of contents or content. So I just wanted to highlight it for you guys. And then I also wanted ask you, did you know Christmas is only 108 days away? That's crazy. But there's lots of tips inside this mini catalog to kind of give you the inspiration you need to kind of get your Christmas card started. I'm sure you've already gone through it 100 times and have some ideas. But there's also bundle savings, like always. Thank goodness they do this for us. I love that they bundle them at 10% savings. So the new stamps and dies, there's stamps and punches, and then there's paper and dies. So there's 3 different kinds of bundles that you can have fun with. Okay, but with your catalog in hand, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you 1 minute per question, you guys. We've got 10 questions to go through. We don't want to take up all of our time trying to find things, so we're going to do this as fast as possible. Although some of them are a little bit hard, I'm not going to lie, but you can always skip them and then I'll go back and ask the questions again. Let me just set my timer for 1 second per question. I'll read the question first and then I'll start the timer, okay?
1 second
or 1 minute?
1 minute.
Now. I hope you mean 1 minute, Trisha, please.
Yeah, did I say 1 second?
Yeah, you did.
1 minute, you guys.
You had me a little scared there.
Okay, does everyone have their catalog?
Do you want to pin yourself as being speaker?
Sure. Oh, hey, Lorette, you found us.
Yeah.
I don't really want you looking at me, but okay.
Which catalog do we want? The main one?
Yeah.
No, the holiday catalog. The mini catalog.
Mini, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And in fact, I'm gonna put my video down because then when we go to the answers afterwards, you guys are here. You'll see it, and then you'll also see the timer. Okay. You guys ready?
Sure.
I just want to make sure everyone does have a mini catalog because it's kind of important. Okay. I am gold and woven. What am I?
Did you say gold or bold?
I am gold and woven. What am I? And don't holler out the answers. You're just going to write them down on 1 to 10 on your paper. Because there's prizes. This is competition, man. I'm golden woven. What am I? 30 seconds left. Okay, that's time. Next question. How many punch bundles will you find in the catalog? How many punch bundles will you find? How many punch bundles will you find? I just heard a doorbell, so if someone new has joined the meeting, we're just playing a game. Get a piece of paper and mark down 1 to 10 and jump in where we are. So we're just at number 2. How many punch bundles will you find in the catalog? 15 seconds left. Okay, that's time. Number 3. I am a tree full of love, peace, and joy. What stamp set will you find me in? I am a tree of love, peace, and joy. What stamp set will you find me in? Oh, except then I forgot to hit start. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys were lucky on that one. I am a tree full of love, peace, and joy. What stamp set will you find me in? Everyone should get that now with 2 minutes. 15 seconds left. Okay, that's time. Question number 4. What page will you find the pretty blue box for holding cards? What page will you find the pretty blue box for holding cards? What page will you find the pretty blue box for holding cards? That's number 4. Okay, that's time. Question number 5. This DSP, this designer series paper, is full of color and snow. What paper am I? This DSP is full of color and snow. What paper am I? I forgot to hit the timer on that one too, so you get a little more time. Wow. Twenty seconds left. Okay, that's time. Number 6. I bring peace on earth and the Prince of Peace. What stamp set am I?
You want another green tea, Doc?
No, I'm good, thanks.
No?
I bring peace on earth and the Prince of Peace. What stamp set am I? Twenty seconds left. That's time. Number 7. What page will you find the magic of Paper Pumpkin on? What page will you find the magic of Paper Pumpkin on?
Timer.
Well, thank you. What page will you find the magic of Paper Pumpkin on? It's question number 7. 20 seconds left. And that's time. Takes us to number 8. I am a bundle that is fancy and sweet, just like sugar plum candy. Who am I? I am a bundle that is fancy and sweet, just like sugar plum candy. Who am I? 10 seconds. I am a bundle that is fancy and sweet, just like sugar plum candy. Okay, that's time. Number 9. We are classic Christmas, Christmas chic, Wonderland wishes, and glam tidings. What are we? We are classic.
Thanks.
Someone Siri's talking?
Sorry.
No, it's all good. We are classic Christmas, Christmas chic, Wonderland wishes, and glam tidings. What are we? Ah, except I forgot to start it. It's okay, you guys can get caught up in other things. We are classic Christmas, Christmas chic, Wonderland wishes, and glam tidings. What are we? "15 seconds. We are classic Christmas, Christmas chic, Wonderland wishes, and glam tidings. What are we?" And if you don't know, you can guess. And that's time. And last question. What page will you find the statement of the heart? What page will you find Stampin' Up's statement of the heart? What page is Stampin' Up's statement of the heart? And if you're all done, you can add up your points, 1 point per question. And if
We
you don't
don't know if we
mind,
have them right yet.
oh yeah, that's right. That might help. My head really hurts. Can you tell? I need to sit. 20 seconds left.
Tricia, what was question 2 again? I don't know what I wrote down here.
How many punch bundles will you find in the catalog?
Oh, okay. That makes sense now.
Okay, and that is time. So let's review the questions and answers. I am gold and woven. What am I?
The golden leaves.
Hey.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Yes, they are right here. Maybe not so easy to find, but they're on page 37. And in fact, some lucky person is going to win a package of them tonight. They're actually lovely. They're only like about an inch and a little bit, an inch and a quarter long. So like, they're perfect.
What page are they on again, Tricia?
37.
So what are they showing them being done as?
Nothing. That's the sad part.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, that's not true. They are over here on the grateful card, just in behind
Yeah.
the leaves. And there's one here, it's just hard to see. Okay,
Did they color them too? They've got blends in there. No?
Yep, you can.
you can. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what they're doing with these ones right here, because they're gold
Yeah, with the blends.
normally.
Yeah. Okay,
They've added some green and
interesting.
copper by the looks of it. Okay, how many punch bundles are in the catalog?
2.
2.
You were right.
I wrote 2 bundles and I didn't, what does that mean?
They're on page 46 and 47 of the catalog. And they are the Humble Home and the Sweetest Star. I think I need the house just for the heart. Okay, I am a tree full of love, peace, and joy. What stamp set will you find me in?
Best of words.
Yeah, page 53. For those of you who might have missed it, love, peace, and joy. Okay. At least you knew it was a stamp set. I felt like my questions were pretty more targeted this time. Should be easier to find than just randomly looking through a whole catalog for a stamp set. But you guys will be the judge of that. What page will you find the pretty blue box for holding cards?
Page 11.
Got it. Did everyone get that?
Yep.
Right here. This is that new kit. It's a card box kit, and it comes with like divider labels and some cards. That'll make a perfect Christmas gift or birthday gift for someone.
I didn't see anywhere that you could order that though.
Oh, because it's not available yet. The catalog doesn't come live. So it wasn't part of the pre-order. But on September 4th, when it goes live, you should be able to.
Yeah, I
So
saw it
it's
on
It should be now. It should be now.
So you can only find it online because I couldn't find an order number anywhere in the catalog.
No, because it's a kit. So kits are just all
Online.
posted online. Yeah.
Well, there's a whole
don't
bunch
put
of kits in
prices
here,
in.
isn't there?
Just pardon me?
Are there not a bunch of kits in here?
No, like they're all right here.
It says
They're
there's
all
a kit
different
for
price.
that, so they must send you some other stuff with it. You
You
have to
can,
put it together.
yeah, you can click on the QR code here and it'll take you to the website so you can order some. But I think they have all the kits in there as like almost as online exclusives, to be
Yeah.
honest, because they sell out so fast.
Hmm.
Okay. I am a bundle. Oh no. Where are we? We are on
5.
number 5. This DSP is full of color and snow. What paper am I?
Snowy Scenes.
Yeah. Did everyone get that?
Mhm.
Yep.
Snowy scene. I thought snow was a giveaway, but just love that paper so much. I bring peace on earth and the Prince of Peace. What stamp set am I?
Shepherd's care.
Yeah. Sounds like a few of you got that. Page 56.
Well,
Here's
it's a
some
pretty
more.
small catalog, so
What page will you find the magic of paper pumpkin on?
67.
67.
Yeah, you got it. Did you guys notice the new dies that are coming out? For that coordinate with the last 3 months of the year paper pumpkin? It's got a tag.
Oh, cute.
Some
didn't see
Fern
it.
and Mary. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It will go fast. So if you're a paper
Yeah.
pumpkin subscriber, you'll want to add that to your next order. Okay. No, it actually won't be available till October, probably. October, November, December.
Mm.
Okay. I am a bundle that is fancy and sweet, just like sugar plum candy. Who am I?
More than autumn.
No.
That's what I put.
that's what I put too because I couldn't find anything.
Sweetest star.
No.
Hmm.
Did anyone have anything different? Oh, I gave us.
I knew it wasn't more than autumn because there's no sugar plum anything in there, but I couldn't find anything else except for some sugar plum embellishments.
The answer is Christmas labels bundle because they've got Swedish sugar plum candy on the stamp.
Summer.
And these are very fancy dies. That's okay. That was probably me trying to be, sassy with my question. Okay, number 9. We are classic Christmas chic, Wonderland wishes, and glam tidings. What are we?
4 colorful ways of color theory for Christmas cards.
Yeah, you got it.
Page 51.
Thank you, because I forgot to write the page number down. So that's right here. So there's 4 Christmas card ideas for you right here. And yes, it's all tied to the color theory colors. So you can go and refer to the main catalog in order to find that out. But just for stamping inspiration, like if you're going to make Christmas cards, you could just use these color combinations in your set. You could even case these cards in your set. So just wanted to point it out because it's a great way to showcase, especially to new people who might be like, oh my gosh, I love that card. And then, you know, they might want to make it. Okay, and then what page will you find the statement of the heart?
Page 3.
Yay.
Page 3.
Does anyone know it off by heart? I say that because every time I talk about the statement of the heart, they Stampin' Up was here in Edmonton once, and they did a catalog launch, and we did it at a movie theater. So if you can imagine a full movie theater completely full of demonstrators all oohing and awing over their catalog, and they were giving away some prizes, but they had an amazing prize. I don't remember what it was, but it was just something good. But it was to the first person who could actually cite, or actually I think they picked the person out of the audience to cite this, and Brenda was who they picked. And she knew it off by heart. So anyways, you just never know when you might, you know, or something might be up for grabs for it. But it's a cute little statement. Okay, tally up your points. Tally up your points and post them in the comments. I do have a tiebreaker, or depending on what everyone's points are, maybe it's a bonus question. Was that too much time I gave for question?
No, it's good.
Does apple cider have whipped cream? I don't think so, does it?
No.
Usually not.
Just cinnamon stick. Okay. Who is our winner?
I don't know, not everybody's posting. Cheryl,
Oh, no, were we supposed to post it somewhere? Sorry.
Karen,
In the chat. So in the chat.
Karen's
Sorry, I'm
gone.
kinda
Oh, no,
sleepy.
she's not gone.
Okay. Oh, Kim and Chantel are tied for 8. Cheryl has 8 too.
I only have 7.
5.
Sue has 7.
Okay, that's good. It's a pass. You guys all pass. You got 50% or more.
How did Karen make out? You don't see her there.
Yeah. Karen, are you able to put yours in the comments?
Must have went to do
I'm gonna
something.
lose you.
Oh, no, she's gone.
Maybe she's coming back.
Who's gone?
Oh, okay. Let me get the prizes out. You guys can see what they are. We've got, so you guys saw the lovely, let me spotlight this again. Okay, so we've got the lovely gold leaves, and they're shimmery. I love them. We've got a package of the book treat boxes. These are super quirky, cute little books. They're meant to look like a book, and there are some adorable ornaments that I've seen made with it. So you can give all kinds of fun gifts. And then I've got the brand new Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. This thing is massive. This is like another one of those.
Oh, big ones?
Yeah.
How come they're making them so big? They don't fit in my boxes.
Right?
I
Not
know.
nice.
Get bigger boxes.
Well, it's because it fits an 8.5 piece of paper.
Oh, I know, but
So it's 8.5 by 6. We've got that to give away as well. And I've got another special prize that I'm going to give away here. At the end, we'll just do a name wheel. for everyone who participated in the make-in tapes. Okay. I'm gonna remove my spotlight somehow, and I guess we need to do a tiebreaker. Don't know what happened to Karen, but hopefully everything's okay. So Pam and Chantel.
And Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Oh, and Cheryl, there's 3 of you? Oh, we better just do the spinning wheel. That will be safer. Because my question was, someone hollered out loud, what is the date of the holiday mini catalog? To and from.
Oh. December 4th to December.
Well,
They don't put a date on it, so I don't know why I wouldn't
Yes, there
memorize that
is.
information. Yeah, September to December. That's what it says.
Nope.
Probably
There's
inside
no
somewhere
date
it
on the
says.
calendar. Karen's back. Karen, what did you have for points?
I didn't have my catalog available and I couldn't download it on my phone. So and I kicked myself out of the Zoom call, and I don't know how, but I just popped back in. So I hope I didn't miss too much.
Okay, well,
Now we
don't
were just
worry, your
gabbing.
name will go in the draw at the end. So my name, wheel of names.
December 4th to January 6th.
Yay, you found it.
It was a hard one to find.
I know. Tell everyone where it is.
It's on the very last page, right in this little white box.
On
Turn
the
the
back
catalog
cover,
over.
you mean?
Turn
Yeah,
the
right on the
catalog
back cover.
Yeah, like I looked there and I still couldn't see it because I need my glasses for that tiny freaking
Super
font.
Yeah.
small. It's super small.
Like
Okay.
what
On the
about
back
Oh,
page?
the
Kim,
back cover?
Cheryl,
Back
and
cover.
Chantel, right?
Yeah, the back cover on the outside in the stampinup.ca box under 1-800 Stamp Up.
Super small.
Oh, yeah.
Very small.
I saw it. Thank you.
Okay, so let's see who is going to win the prize. Chantel, you get first dibs.
Oh no. What do I want?
Pressure.
I want the plaid embossing folder, por favor.
Okay, it is yours. Congratulations. Okay, so with that, I am handing it over to Kim. We can finally start stamping. It's 8 o'clock now, so sorry, Kim. Hopefully we can get this done in an hour and a half.
Well, so in your, you guys all get these little inspiration board things. This is how they came, but then I just used our Memories and More kits to spruce them up to be Stamping Up style. So everyone's will be a little bit different. And of course mine was retired Memories and More kits, but it's just another way of using them. So when you go to the dollar store or whatever and you see something and it's like, oh, it's not quite what I'm looking for. Well, sometimes you can just change it by using whatever you have in your stash. So that's just what everybody got as their treats this month. Our first kit will be the book treat box. And you're gonna need a blending brush.
I built it.
That's what it's gonna look like when it's finished. And then it's over. And
So
yours,
can you highlight Kim? Trisha?
Oh yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I
Sorry.
can see Mackenzie.
Yeah.
And
so
it's black.
in your kit,
That's
you're
better.
gonna have some of these red rhinestones. They're great. We're using the book treat boxes, and they come in white, but we're making it a different color. We're making it basic beige. So we're using basic beige ink. We're also using Poppy Parade ink. Those are the two inks are in the paper. Corner rounder. And the stamps that I'm using is Greetings of the Season. So inside your box, you will show it because I thought of it after I built mine. I did pre-stamp your greeting in Puppy Parade, which is may your holiday season be filled with warm and cheerful celebrations. So when they take out their treat or whatever, they have like a little memo inside. And I also use season greetings for the outside greeting as well, because I just like the way it was like a hand script. So those are the two sections of that stamps that I used. And of course, all the stamping is in Puppy Parade. So in your kit, you're going to have, see, that's what I mean, like that's your bottom of the box. So you know it's the bottom because you have the tape side. You can maybe see the shininess on here. It already comes pre-taped. So you know this is going to be the bottom of your box. And then your outside of the box is the one with the little tab. And the tab has a bit of tape on it as well. And you have 2 strips of tape on here so that when you put this together, it's going to adhere there. But I would also suggest you use some liquid glue just as a backup, because I know some people have better adhesion than others, depending on how your basements are or your weather. So a little extra glue doesn't always hurt. You're going to have, of course, your greeting on basic beige, which we're going to fussy cut. You're going to have 2 pieces of Puppy Parade and your little starburst, which is a retired punch. And that's 2 3/4 by 3 5/8. And the star punch is just, you know, same thing. Then we're going to use the texture metallic 12 by 12, but I did the gold, and that's 1 3/4 circle. And if you actually look at it, it does have texture to it. Like it's smooth, but it has like lines in it if you look at it. I don't know if you can see it online that well, but it does have a bit of a different finish. So that's that. And then you're going to have your DSP, which is Sentiment of Christmas DSP, which is also the DSP that is the giving back DSP. So you every time you purchase that DSP, a certain amount goes to I think it's reading, but I could be wrong. It's in the catalog. And this is 3.5 by 5 2/8, and you have 2 sheets of those, and it's like the candy cane stripe. And then you're going to have some other little bits and pieces that you're going to fussy cut, like the leaves, the little ribbon, and the little stocking. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get this out of the way. I'm going to grab my box because I want to have time for it to dry.
$4 to support children's literacy. Yeah.
There we go. I knew it was something to do with reading. I'm going to grab my beige and then a corner rounder if you have one. I'm sure we all have some lying around. And then you might want to take a scrap piece of paper so that your desk doesn't get messy or whatever. And I'm going to do both sides with my blending brush, the basic grade, just so then my book isn't so stark white because it doesn't match the paper as well. And you just rub a light coat right over the adhesive strips. Don't take the strips off, but just brush it right over top, even though that's not really 100% necessary. You maybe get away with doing the edges because your box will be sitting on top. But it's just easier to do the whole thing in one big swoop. And because it's like a smooth surface, it kind of goes on really easy. It's also, I believe, a food safe box as well. So you can put treats and whatever. Once you're done that side, I'm just flipping it over. And the other side does have a little bit of different finish, but it still tastes really nice as well.
What ink are you using, Kim?
Basic beige.
Oh, okay.
But if you don't have basic beige, you could probably get away with, I don't,
Crumb cake, maybe?
crumb cake. Yeah, that'd be the lightest color that we've got. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using crumb cake, but it doesn't really go, so.
Well, I ordered some. It should be here right away, so I'm just going to wait.
If you want to make it match, you could take your DSP and run the crumb cake over top of it to make it a little bit darker. Let's see if that works as a solution.
You're coloring the whole strip? The whole, yeah, obviously.
Yep. Now I'm going to put that off to the side to dry, and then I'm going to bring in my box, but I don't want where I stamped. Like this part doesn't really need to be, but I'm going to do this side of the box. The opposite. Because you don't want to have half of it white and half of it beige. This is a nice way of making things kind of look aged or vintage. The dry basic beige is really good for that.
That's the first time I've seen that color.
What? That means you weren't following the shades of summer, Lorette.
I don't know. I guess not.
So it's pretty quick. You know, it maybe doesn't show up on camera as well, but that's all you're basically doing. You're keeping this side white, this side beige. Then I'm just gonna pop that over there because I'm done with the beige. Then I'm going, like I said, if you wanted to, you could take this paper, even though it is pretty beige already, but you could try with the crumb cake and just see if it would match your ink better. Really, that's what's matching is the beige. All I'm going to do here is corner around two sides so that you have the back and the front with the DSP. So you corner rounding them. And you're going to do your panels of Poppy Parade. And basically do the same thing. You're just going to take your corner rounder. Bigger. Done. That's all you're doing with the corner rounder. That's all you're doing with the scrap paper is just so that, you know, it keeps your workspace nice and clean.
So just on one side of each paper, right?
One side on the bottom, both sides of the book.
Sorry, the corner rounding. Sorry, the corner rounding.
Yeah, you're just gonna do the one corner and the one corner to match with your cardstock, and same with the other one, but you want it the opposite way, obviously, so that you have the back and the front. And those are just adhered with your regular adhesive. And what I like to do, I like to bump it up to the back so that there's no red showing at the back of it, and you're just having a bit of the red showing on the three sides.
Sorry, my corner rounder plugged. Apparently I need to throw it away.
So then I'm just putting the DSP on like this. So you only see a little bit of red on the three sides, and then I'm bumping it flat to the actual cardstock here. And you do the same thing for the other piece. It's a pretty tight fit, so you're gonna have very little showing really. So there's your panels done. Then you're gonna take your gold and your starburst and just, again, adhering your little gold circle to the inside of the starburst. Flat, so there's no dimensionals to that one. And then grab the scissors. Yeah, and then the fussy cutting is all these things here. Some will have a full ribbon like this. Some might only have a little bit, but that's okay because I wanted to use up all the little bits on my DSP, because even though you may not have as long as tails, it still works when you put it on as an embellishment. So put all these together. And you can leave as much of a white outline as you wish. But again, I try to keep it very minimal because most of my stuff is not white, it's beige. But again, if you wanted to, you could always rub your ink over the background of the paper and it would pick up that ink color. that. Get out the stocking. I believe there's a die for this if you bought the set with the, it's a very small set with the stocking and stuff, but I don't have it. So I just wanted to show you that even if you don't have it, doesn't mean you can't use the paper. My stocking. Then I give you a bunch of greenery so you can like cut it in half and just grab a little bit of sprigs. It's up to you how much you want to cut and use. It's basically for background. First, when you're fussy cutting, it's always good to have sharp scissors and you move the paper, not your scissors. It's good for your motor skills too.
Well, thank you.
Like I said, with this type of fussy cutting, if there's a leaf that doesn't quite work with what you want, snip it away, because no one else is going to know about it. There, all my snipping is done there. And then again, the season greetings is also fussy cut, because why not?
I guess that the why not is depends on whether you like to fussy cut or not.
Yes, that's true.
And we all know Kim loves to fussy cut.
But Cheryl doesn't.
Well, if you don't, you can always find a different punch or another label. Because I'm not sure if this has anything to go with this stamp set. I think this might be an online exclusive. I can't remember. I think it comes with the die set that's like all those big tags, like all those different tags. There's big ones, thin ones, little ones.
Right.
And I didn't think that the tags were too big for this box. It just didn't seem to work.
Right.
But I'm sure out of all our stash, I'm sure we could all probably find, a punch or something that we have in our stash way back when that might, do the job if you don't want to do a fussy cutting.
I saw somebody do something really interesting when they were cutting out words. So they took and they drew a line around it with a pencil and then followed the pencil line when they cut it out. And it looked like it went really smooth. Now, I don't know whether I haven't tried it. I'm going to try it now, but it looked like a really good idea because sometimes I struggle with where I'm supposed to be going.
Yeah. Another way you could do it too is like once you cut it out, you could do that pencil sketch. But in what I've seen too, which is really neat, I haven't tried it. Now you take your words and you say you had another DSP color that you wanted. Say you wanted a background like this. So then you glue it to the background and then you just trace around that and then you cut around and it's already the shape of what you cut.
Right.
So I thought I just saw that this week, how they did that. So I haven't personally done it, but I think it would be interesting to do. So once you got all your fussy cutting, then I'm going to come back. Now you could use liquid glue. You could use tear tape or the other snail that's stronger than this one. I'm just using this adhesive to put your covers on. That's what I call it, little covers, like a little book cover. And that you do want to leave a bit of space between the score line and here. You want to have like a little outline of the beige all around your little book cover. And the reason why I say use a baby stronger adhesive is because we did use ink on a kind of slippery surface. it may or may not. I haven't had any problems with it, but just in case, especially if you're handing it out to someone as a gift, you don't want things falling off. And then when you put on the second piece, you want to try and make sure that it's level to the other one at the top and the bottom. Like you don't want this one way up high here because you want it to look like it's even. And that's how your, I guess I did this so you can see the whole thing. Your book cover section would be decorated before we fold it. And it's easy to know it's the outside because it doesn't have those two pieces of tape, right? So you know that the book cover has to have it on the outside of the box. And then take your bone folder. And it's a bit of a stiff because it is a box, so it's a bit stiff. And just, you know, do that. Same with the tab. There's two actual score lines on the tab. So it looks like this. There's actually two. So once you get it, it's all nice and folded, it's cute. So that's all we do for that piece. Then we're going to bring on our bottom. And we're just going to bend all our score lines. And then how you put the box together, you take the two ends with the little tabs and you bring them in. And you go take the tab with the tape, which is really nice because they have a really good heavy tape on here. You take that off and you fold it up so that it's like this. And then you just fold that tab down and it will stick like that. It's really easy. So then you do the same thing. You go over here and you take off the backing. You take your pick your tool or something sharp, but it's actually not too bad to get off. And you just tuck that in and there you have your little box. And because we have that little stamp saying, it's like something they can find out once they take out the treat. So this is the part where it's up to you if you want to, but I usually put a little bit of liquid glue on the back of my box again, just because I did use ink. I just want to make sure that it does stick to the box, even though it does have that adhering tape on there, which is quite strong as well. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I'm going to take both those little backings off, and you just want to make sure your words are in the right direction. So you want your book to be like this. You want it open with the tab to your right, and you want your box with the words facing you the proper way. And then you just want to find inside, you don't want to go over that score line, and try to make it even. And then just press down. You can take your bone folder, the rounded part, and just give it a good press back and forth. And that's how you get your box inside your book. So then you close it up. It's like this. But I wouldn't take this piece off until you have your treat and everything and giving it to somebody. So in the meantime, you can put like a little blue dot or something just so for show it can look pretty until you're ready to give it to somebody. I wouldn't take off that tape until then. So then what we want to do is take our little starburst and our circle. And this I kind of did do with some tear tape just because I had it near me. So it's a little bit easier to control. And you take that tab where you have that first bend to the curve, and I'm just putting tear tape right there. You put 3 pieces or 2, half. I'm going to use up what so it's like that. So you don't want to go past this because you don't want anything stuck on here. You just want it on that little rounded tab. And then press that really good. Once you have it adhered, take off your backing. And then take your little starburst and place it on top. So there you have it stuck like so. So when it comes over, it closes onto your book.
Oh, gotcha.
So then once from that, then it's just the fun part, right? We're just having fun decorating. So I put the stocking on dimensionals because I like dimensionals. And I think it needed something propped up, so I said, why not? But you want to make sure you don't put, so what I did, I just kind of stuck it in the middle of my circle. Because it's easier to gauge that than trying to put it on the back of the stocking, because he might have the footway here or whatever. So this way it gives you a little bit more wiggle room about how you place your stocking, as if you put it actually in a straight line on your gold circle. So that's how I did that. Then I took the little teeny bow and I just cut a little smidge of a dimensional, like sometimes we, the side ends, you can get those little pieces. And it's a perfect fit right on the back of that bow, that little piece.
Mhm.
And then I took the backing off. And even though on the stocking you'll see there's a little bow, I just tuck it right on top. So then it looks like a little bit more, like so. And then the greenery, I just took my adhesive, regular adhesive. You do a glue dot. I put it on the back. And then that's where you can gauge like where you want your greenery. You want it, over here, and you just kind of tuck it in a little bit here and there. And it's nice if you have a piece that has a little bit of the berries. If not, it's fine too. It's not a big deal. And like I said, because these are leaves, you can cut them anywhere you want. Like, yeah, this isn't fitting right, then I'm snipping that piece off and then tucking it in. So then I have a bit of greenery on both sides, so that's balanced. Like that. And then I'm taking another dimensional or half dimensional, putting it right in the middle of my greeting. And I'm going to place that just on top of the stocking, like so. And then the rest is just adding your little rhinestones. I gave you, I think, 7. And so what I did, I put 1 in the middle of the bow, and then I did 3 as a cluster on a leaf, and then I did 3 as a cluster over here, so they're like the little holly berries. So, but if you don't want holly berries and stuff, you can put the little gems anywhere you like. And that's how you get your box. Ta-da! And you get, I believe, 10 boxes in a bag. You get 10 of these boxes.
Could you please hold the stocking up to the camera a little closer again? I think I missed. Did you cut out the stocking contents and then re-stick it on?
I just cut out the whole stocking and I went around all this. So this is all one piece.
Okay, it looks like it's 3D. Like it looks
It
like
is.
it's above.
Because I have some greenery that I cut out with just the leaves that are flat behind. Then I popped up the ribbon. So that's on dimensional. And the stocking itself is on a dimensional and the words are on dimensional. But the stocking itself is just one whole big piece. I didn't cut the goodies inside and then repost.
Okay, it actually looks like it from here. Anyways, it's super cool. Thank you. Love it.
And so I just wanted to show you that you can change the color of the books to whatever color you want. You don't have to be stuck with the fact that they're white. They're pretty easy to do. And like I said, you can decorate them up any way you like. Because I'll show you one that, if I could find it over here, that we did at Brenda's. And that's what she did. So she just did the DSP, not the background like I did here. And she kind of did the same thing with the same gold circle, a little bit bigger than mine. And she used that new snowflake set and that new tree die that has all the different trees. And then she kept her box white. So you could do white, or you could do it any other color you want. So they're like the 2 ideas, but 2 totally different.
Can you just show me again where you put the glue on to glue it to the book, like when on the flap or the tape, where you put the 3 strips? On the other side of that, okay.
Yep. From that score line to the
Yep.
curve, I did 3 strips on the back side.
Okay.
And then I took them off and I stuck the circle on. But
Okay. I
don't
thought it was sticking to the box for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking that it
you
was
don't want
doing.
to take this strip off until you have your treat or whatever you want to put inside to give it to someone, because then, it's shut and you can't really get it off without ripping it.
Right.
And stuff like that. The only way you could do that is if you put maybe a little glue dot and kind of, tacked it with your finger to take some of the stickiness away. Which I
Right.
do on this one. I do have a little bit of a glue dot. So if I press hard enough, I can make it stay, but it's not going to stay permanently.
Right.
Because
Okay.
the pressure is going to be too much and it will pop off anyways.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And as you see, this one I had a full bow with a ribbon long, and this one I had the ribbon short. So whichever ribbon you have works.
But yeah, you're far away. I can't. I don't know if I can zoom you in. I don't have a full screen.
There's like the long tail ribbon. Some people will have,
Right.
depending on what the DSP was showing. And this is the same ribbon. It was like probably
A
near
short one.
the paper, and it just has a shorter tail. But it works just as, I just wanted to say that you don't have to like, oh, that's a rough piece of paper. You can use it. Doesn't matter.
Right. Good. Okay. Awesome.
And of course, these are retired, but you could also do, if you didn't have red ones, you could definitely take your regular rhinestones and color them red with your blends. But I happen to have a lot of these little red ones, so, and they worked with the color, so. Which was nice.
We love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah. So we're done here. I like the fact the stamp set has like lots of little words, and you can mishmash words together. So you could have bold, you could have hand script, and then it has that one nice big greeting, which could fill up the inside of your card, which is nice. I like it when they have stamp sets that do that. They give you an inside and an outside greeting. So like you can make wishing you, a happy new year, or, you can mix it up all you want. And then it has love and joy, so you can use this for Valentine's Day too. And stuff like that.
That's an idea. Yeah. They're cute boxes.
Pardon?
I said they're cute boxes.
Yeah, they are. And they're good size too. Not too big, not too little. I thought they went well. And it was nice to bring out the basic beige, which is a color people forget we have because it's so new.
I haven't used it at all yet.
And so, yeah, I can't remember the name, but that's the punch I used for the Starburst. I think it was called Starburst probably, but it doesn't give you a measurement. And then I did 1 3/4 circle on the gold. I think my circle is probably still current, but the Starburst is definitely retired. But like I said, we're all seasoned crafters, so use what you got.
And the season's greetings you popped up on dimensionals too.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Or if you don't, you don't have to. It's a personal choice.
And did you put the gems mainly just around the stocking in that? Sorry.
I put one gem in the middle of the little bow, so your eyes attracted there. And then like here, I just had a bunch of leaves. I didn't have the little berries like I do on here.
Okay.
So if I had the berries, I would put them on the berries. But if I didn't, I just made a cluster of 3, so it looks like little holly berries with leaves.
Okay.
I just did 2 areas that had like little clusters of 3 berries. But it's up to you if you want to put them on the box, like over here or somewhere else. That's your choice.
Okay. But I've lost my bow. Where did she go? Oh,
I love this project, Kim. Thanks for showcasing
Very
the
cute.
give back paper. It is nice to have the idea too of making it more vintage using the basic beige. So thanks for sharing that technique. I didn't realize that the candy cane looking paper actually is already in basic beige, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
No, this is a great project, and thanks for showcasing that book too.
You're welcome. And it's also good to showcase paper that gives something back to our communities. Because
Yeah.
it has pretty little trees, has pretty little bows, the striped red candy has little cute little deer, and really pretty one with that lantern, and candles, and the striped green that Brenda showed on hers, little snowflakes. So and that's where you get the stocking paper from.
Mhm.
And a little deer, aren't those cute?
Yes.
So it gives you like and it's very vintagey, I felt.
Yeah.
1950s, 60s vibe. Probably more of the 50s and the 60s, but that's what it felt like to me anyways. So our next project will also be doing this paper as well, but we're using the Christmas trees.
Ooh, love it. I think these little books might make cute little advents as well, if you wanted to fill them up with little treats. You would need 25 of them. I think there's only, is there 8 or 10 that come in a box?
10.
Case 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love the pretty packaging. Thanks again, Kim.
You're welcome. Every wheel kind of need a little packaging somewhere along the lines. But this would be cute, like even Halloween. Like you could do anything with these. And how cute would this be with those little bird stamps set with the glasses and the books? For a teacher's gift or a librarian? Or a person just a really avid reader. Put a little
Good idea. Or if you give a gift card someplace like Chapters and put it in, yeah, like do it up like that. That would be really cute.
And these are cute for stocking stuffers too, because they would fit right in a stocking and look really cute.
Yeah. Great idea.
Especially if you're a person that only gives like gift cards or money to your family. It's just another way of, making it a little bit prettier than here.
I like the beige color on it. It just really softens it rather than stark white.
Yeah.
Okay, well, while we're transitioning to the next card, let's do a draw because maybe someone is going to win the package of books. I just need to confirm who all bought kits.
Trisha, Cheryl, Sherry, Deb, Lorette, Karen, Chantel. Who am I forgetting?
Okay, so on my name wheel, I've got Kim, Cheryl, Chantel, Sherry, Deborah, Karen, Lorette,
And
That's
Suzanne.
right.
and Sue. Thank you. Suzanne.
That's it. I knew I forgot somebody. Sorry, Suzanne.
That's okay.
Okay, I will just place the spotlight for 1 second. Not to me. Oops. Oh, you guys can see my name wheel. Oh, then you also get to see my stamping mess. Sorry. But again, we've got a package of the books and the gold leaves are up for grabs. So let's see who the lucky winner is. Oh, good thing we added Sue. Suzanne, it's you, and I'm sorry I spelled your name. Zed, sir.
That's okay.
Which one would you like?
I'll take the boxes, the book boxes.
Rat.
Sounds great. Okay, I'll pin it back to you.
So then our second project, this one is a card. I went vintage again, and I wanted to keep theme kind of with that basic beige. So I kind of continued that on with this card. So your base is Mossy Meadow, which is 8.5 by 5.5, card size. You have 2 pieces of basic beige, 4 by 5.25. One is embossed with the little snowflake folder that's still current. That's right, I did actually use something current. And the other one is just inside of your card, because I don't like dark cards to write in. And then you're going to have a piece of Mossy Meadow, which is, I didn't write down the measurements, 5 inches by 2 1/8. You're going to have a piece of Iconic Celebration, which is this new 6 by 6 paper, which is kind of like all seasons. It's got Christmas, it's got winter, it's got love, like Valentine's Day, pumpkins in fall. It's really pretty paper. It's like plaid, celebrations, burgers, candle. So it's a really good little pack to have if you're just starting out, because you may not have a lot of paper. But I used it because I like the fact that this was Mossy Meadow, which went, and also because the lines in between, not sure exactly what the color is, but close to basic beige work. So that's why I picked that paper. So that piece is 2 inches by 4 3/4. Then you're going to have a piece of, again, the Sentimental Christmas by 12 DSP, and this one is just the little Christmas tree, and everyone's tree might be a little bit different. This one's a red. I call it a red one, where this one here is blue and yellow. So each one will be just a little bit different. And then you're going to have a Mossy Meadow label. If I can get this off. That looks like this. It is from that die set, and I can't remember. It's in the annual catalog that it has a bunch of these weird little shape framelits type thing. And what I did is I cut it out in the mossy meadow, and then I went and took my paper and I lined it up like this so I could find the inside, because they don't have one that would fit the inside. And I just traced it with a pencil and then fussy cut all your guys' ovals out.
Oh my God.
So that's how
Thank
that.
you, Kim. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have another piece of beige and mossy meadow. And I stamped Merry Christmas in mossy meadow, and this is again from the same stamp set. So this is where I got the word Merry and Christmas. So they were two different stamp sets, and you just can make your own phrase. So that's how that worked. And then the green piece, I didn't really measure because this piece here is like, you know, when you cut your paper and you have that little smidgen that's left off.
Always.
So instead of wasting any paper, like, I mean, I have a ton of it. So I'm not 100% sure the measurement. I guess it's probably a half an inch, I would think. And so I did that. So then all I did was I basically laid it on a piece of scrap mossy meadow that I have, because, you know, everybody has little bits and pieces. And it was literally no measuring. I just literally went and put it on. I made it so I had the border that I liked, and I just basically ticked here with a pencil and here so that I knew how to cut it, and that's my measurement. So there's no per se measurement. It's just I winged it. And then you just mat that on flat. So you put your words on top of your little green mat. Then you're going to do your same thing with your oval trees, is you're going to turn it over and put your adhesive. And you're just going to make sure it's inside those dotted lines, because this one has like a little dotted cutout or image on it. And you just put that, so that's all you do with that piece. Those two pieces are done. Then you're going to take your mossy meadow rectangle with your DSP triangle, the rectangle, and that's the back of it. It's even pretty with the fall leaves, but we were doing Christmas. So, and that you're just going to make sure you have a nice border all the way around. And it's going to be just a small border. So sometimes you might not even see it because the green matches so much. So those are those pieces put together. Then we're going to just take our base, fold it in half, and do your score. Take your inside piece. And this one, like if you have this paper at home, you can always cut a little bit of the green stripe paper and you can put it in as a border or along the bottom or whatever to make it match on the inside. Or you could just leave it blank, or you could, you know, do some light, like a stamp off effect on, if you have a snowflake stamp or anything, just carry the snowflakes through. Or you can cut out another Christmas tree and put it in the corner, or the little presents. But I just kept it blank.
No, you didn't. You stamped mine.
Did I? What did I say in it? Oh, yes.
I was going to ask you where it came from. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same stamp set
As which? Sorry.
as Greetings of the Season.
It's the one that's inside the
Greetings
box.
of the season. Okay. Sorry.
You
I
see
missed
it.
it. It's beautiful. I
So
think I have
this
that
one
one.
I didn't stamp, but this one I did. And then the front with the snowflakes, you can do it with the snow falling down, or you can do it with the snow falling up. It doesn't really matter. I did it this way, but you can do it either or. Sometimes I have problems with this paper.
No, I really think that there's a reason why they give you those little covers. Does everybody use them or not? Do they keep them on their tape runner or not?
I do.
And like I find mine, I haven't been
And I
down-
find them laying around all over the place.
but I haven't, I'm just saying that mine seems a little weird and it's just a new one and I haven't been down here for a while and it was running so smoothly the last time I used it. Now it just seems to be a pain.
And mine's kind of like 50-50. Either I get it really, you know, goes well, or else it doesn't. And certain papers I find will catch the glue and rip versus other papers.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know why.
I love
So
these colors
here-
together. Kim, they're the mossy meadow and the basic beige look gorgeous together.
And so then you just make sure that you have like as equal as you can border. around on 3 sides where you put your little rectangle piece. And then both these are on dimensionals. And then I also put some. So you just kind of want to kind of put that not quite in the middle of the oval, but kind of up to the higher part of the rectangle. If that makes sense. Because you want to have room for your words at the bottom. Should I put it upside down? And then I just put the greeting right underneath on dimensionals. And then the embellishment that you guys have this time, I'm not 100% sure because I didn't research it, if they're the metallic pearls, and it comes in silver and gold. And I think I gave you guys the gold because I thought it just worked well with the beige. And I think I gave you guys like 5.
Yep.
Just put one right in the little snowflake center on that side. Put one in the corner here, with another one just to pop it down a bit. Then I put 2 in the bottom corner so it draws your eyes to the greeting. Like so. And that's your card. So 2 different color trees versions, but the same idea. So it's just another way of using your DSP if you just want a little smidge of it, which will go a lot further if you're doing a lot of cards. And that's it for the that card.
It's beautiful, Kim.
Very
Thank you,
cute.
thank you, thank you.
And again, if you didn't have those colors, you could definitely use white pearls. And you know, you can color them mossy meadow. Like that would be really pretty to put a mossy meadow. Because it bring it in the little bit darker color against the beige. But yeah. And it's a good way using your 606 paper because it's a really good measurement because you get, if you're going in 2-inch increments, you get quite a bit for your buck, so to speak, with the paper. So it gives a nice splash to the card, but you're not using like all your paper up. You still have some left over, depending on how many cards you're making. So it's always nice to use those even measurements if you can. But I got a lot of use out of that stamp set, so. So there's our projects. And then the rest of my demonstration is on the textures.
Fantastic projects, Kim, as usual. Thank you for all your hard work with them. It's the start of a little vintage collection, so now I'm gonna have to make some more to kind of coordinate with it.
Now you'll need to make a tag. With the tag dies.
Yes. And in fact, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, for those of you who here watch the replay. So not next month, but the month after is going to be pretty packaging, Kim. Tags and bags. We'll chat in case you have some for next month. Oops. I think you can share with us the textures that are in the catalog.
Yeah, like so much stuff around me. I'm like, I can't find where I put my catalog. What is here? I'll just get my book out.
Oops.
So it's on pages 126 and 127. That it's called Terrific Textures. This with my sticky note. And this one covers a couple different things, some new to me, some not so new to me. But the first card is just basically using your stamp as sort of a, what do you call it? When you know, you melt wax and then you put your seal. It's kind of doing that technique. It's like you're making your own seal technique out of that. The next one is basically, we've all heat embossed, or most of us, I think, have heat embossed with our regular embossing powders, you know, Versamark or white craft ink, and, you know, stamp your image and that type of thing. So this is kind of something that we kind of all kind of know. This one, really easy. This next one is basically talking about how you can make any card you want with any dies that you have, and all you're doing is making yourself a template. They did it with paper, which is great, but if you wanted that template to be used maybe more than once or twice, I would probably recommend using like the window sheets or something a little thicker. Like sometimes you can get, you know, when you have your baking goods in those clear clamshell things, if you wash them up and cut out the bottom and, you know, make it a nice size, like a card front size, because they're a little bit thicker. I haven't tried to see if I can die cut it through. I would have to do that to see if it would work, but that'd be something that's a little bit more sturdy, because you want something that's not going to be too flimsy to do that. But yeah, paper will work. Just it's not going to be able to, I wouldn't say it would hold up very well for like if you were doing like 20 cards, 1 or 2, that's probably fine. If you were doing any more than that, I would probably suggest doing a window sheet for sure. And then you can keep that forever, right? Till it breaks apart. This card is, it was a little different. I've never done this technique before, so it was kind of interesting. Is where you stamp your image first, and then you take your paste, then you can change it any color you want with our inks. And you muck it together and you're smearing. It's like a smear. You're just basically putting some on and just dragging it across your image, because you still want to see the image come through whatever color you done and stuff like that. So I'll start with this card first, which is the little petal paint card. And it's basically, the main focus of this card is just this section here where you see this little image, because what it's wanting you to do is you're doing layering technique of heat embossing. So you do Versamark, put your powder on, heat it up, and if before it gets cooled down, you want to put another coat of powder on, heat it up again, and you keep doing that. And I don't know if there's like a set amount of times you can do that. I did mine 3, and it worked. So like, why waste embossing powder if you don't need to? Another thing, I forgot one step, that you're supposed to use Versamark on your stamp, and I stamped it in it without Versamark. It worked. But I also used a red rubber stamp versus the polymer. So I haven't tested it on how well that would work on these type of stamps. I only did it on an old red rubber. But it came out fine. But I think if you put Versamark on, it would give that barrier. So you would have that sort of like a non-stick to your stamp, and it would probably detach better than without. But this is the one that I'll start with first, if that makes any sense. And so I didn't have that pink paper because I only have so much stuff. So this is my version of that card. So I used the retired petal pink paper that we had in that big batch that we had like last catalog. And that's how I got this background. This is, I used our hole punch to add a hole to there. I use copper embossing. This is Stamping Up, but I'm sure we have the new one. I haven't tried the WOW, but this is what I had available. And then I have, I guess this is vanilla, is this the string I use for the bow. And that's in our die set that, or not die, but string twine set that has like all the neutral colors. And then I use this for the label, is this one here. And it's from the Something Fancy dies. This is a great set to have. I use this a lot actually. And that's how I got the label. And then I use these shiny sequins in the orangey color because I didn't have the certain pearls that they asked for. So like I said, work with what you got. It still makes, it's pretty similar. And then the stamp sets I used is I did Happiness Abound for the happy birthday. And then I used this very old one, Happiness Shared, for the little rose because I needed a small laurel and most of my florals were big. And so I went through my stash and this one just kind of worked because in their picture, it's a very small floral, which is cute, but this one works too. So like I said, use what you got. And it is a red rubber stamp. That's what I mean by red rubber. It's like this image. And you want a stamp that kind of has a bit of detail, but not too much detail. Like, I don't know how, well, this would probably work too, but these were way too big for what I needed. So those are the stamp sets I used. And so the card base is regular 8.5 by 11 and 5.5. Line it up. There you go. Then you take your DSP, which is retired, but like I said, working what you got. And I always like going like this because I never usually have too much problem that always works out, that it always fits. I just smush it together. Then of course I have a white piece so that the inside of the card can be finished. And that's of course 5.25 by 4 for the inside piece. So that's basically that. And then I just had some scrap pieces. So again, that's why I'm going to just carry the outside in. So, I'm going to take your scissors and come off. I should have done that before I put it in, but it will work. That's the inside of the card done. Then you have crumb cake, and I just cut like a small piece and then I pre-stamped it. And this is in Mossy Meadow, Best Wishes. That's going to go on dimensionals. So might as well get everything prepped so when it's time to do the noisy part. So that's why I have to put that off to the side. Then I stamped the little flowers that are also in this stamp set. It's these little guy here. I just did that 3 times in Mossy Meadow. I'm not coloring them because what they did is they just put all the little pearls inside the flowers, where I just did the little gems. To me, it's maybe a little overdone with the gems, but I was just kind of following the card. So it's, and I fussy cut those out, pre did that. And then you're gonna have your copper and then the bow, your stamp. You're gonna need birthmark. All my other stuff over here for the other things. And if you have a tray, it's always nice to have that. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna just take your little piece and line it up on your table, whatever. You're gonna take your birthmark and you're just gonna go in an angle and you're gonna smoosh it. Like so. Then you're gonna take your embossing powder. And then you're gonna coat it like that. And then you're gonna do that, or it cools down too much, you want to just sprinkle it again. third time. Shake off what's ever extra. And while that's still nice and you want to dab that in there, and then you're just going to press your flour into it and just hold it. And then slowly rise it up. No, I didn't get it fast enough, but you get the idea. It will make an imprint into it. But the birthmark does help it detach better. So I could, if I can do that again. No, I can. There we go. So if you don't like it, just heat it up again and try again. And that's how you get your little image. I don't know if you can see it very well. So it's sort of like, you know, way back when people used to seal their letters, it's sort of like that technique. That's what that's about. And then I just punched a hole at the top, took my strip twine, and through the back, tied a knot. You can adjust your string however you like. Bring back the card. Put this back on dimensionals. And I would say you could use probably more than normal dimensionals. That's just because you have half of it heat embossed. It does make the paper kind of curl up a little bit. And then you just put it in the bottom corner, like so. Then you take the words, and you want to put that just where that border line is, so it kind of makes it neater. So in case you did kind of maybe had a little bit of a mess or whatever, you don't see it as much, and it just gives it a nice clean finish. But you don't want it going off the edge of the card. So there you go, you do that. Then you take your little flowers, and these ones are just flat. You could put them in with a glue dot or whatever, and I just put one down there. You're just kind of peeking them up like a little layer, like so. Just slightly poking out, and then of course you decorate it with your little embellishments, and that's card one, my version of it anyways, of doing that embossing technique. And then I always keep a little piece of DSP or scrap paper so that I can catch, because sometimes it doesn't always go in your container. Like if I can, I'll try and do that, but sometimes it doesn't. So then this just gives me, especially if I have a smaller container, it's just another easy way to keep it cleaner. Like that.
Great.
So
Yeah, Kim.
my mess. So then we'll just move down to the next one, which is this flower card.
Oh, before you do, I got to get all excited over this one. I love this technique. I've seen it 100 times. I've never tried it myself. I was wowed that you can just reheat it when you make a mistake to melt it all away to try again. So much so that I am going to try and make a card on Make It Monday tomorrow using that technique. So thank you for sharing, Kim.
You're welcome. It's actually a fun card. It's something different to do. It's a bit messy. I said noisy, but it's quick. Like it's really quick. And I just imagine all the different colors you can do. And that's my version of theirs. So this decide. So then the second card, I'm going to pull out here, see if I get all the pieces. Is I'm using whatever in well, a couple of rain colors during the process, but this one's wild wheat, mossy meadow, and of course our basic black are the inks I'm using. And this is my version of their card. Because again, I didn't have the stamp sets that they show here or the dies. But I just want to show you that you just pick any flower stamp set and kind of get the same look. Just doing it a little bit differently. So what I used to make this card, and I also used a paper pumpkin stamp set because I really liked the width of the way this greeting was and how long it was. It fit for what I needed. So always, you know, if you can't find something, you might even have it in your paper pumpkin kits. And of course, this is something new that they started adding to the kits. There are these little folders that you can hold your stamp set. Get all little pieces. So I cut myself a piece of white, stamped it, cut myself a scrap of black, and I'll show you how I did that. Your card base is again typical 5.5 by 8.5. And this is wild wheat color. Then I also did the inside piece, and these are all the little bits I'm going to need of the flower. And then the other stamps that I used, so I could have two sizes of flower. I have one that's smaller and one that's a little bit bigger. And it's from the Prize Peony. So again, it's retired, but I used it. And I also use these two leaves as well. And on this one, I just cut off the leaves of this one. And there's no embellishments on this one. So like usual, just gonna fold my card. I swear I do fancy folds too. That, I'm just gonna take the inside.
These cards are all about the technique, Kim, so we understand.
Then you always have a finished card. So that's that part. And then what I did here, I just snipped up where I wanted it and flagged it. And then if you don't like the way it is, just come and trim it. And this is how I was trying to explain how I did my so-called measurement without measuring. I take a scrap of black and I go where I think I want it to be equal all the way around. And I just put a little dash of pencil, and then I take my cutting mat or my cutting blades, line it up, cut that part off. And so now it should be pretty close to what I want. With a nice border around it. And then I just kind of like that. So then I hold it with my finger. And I just go in from the corner and I keep a little bit of a distance. And that's how I get it so the flag matches. So again, it's not really measurement per se. And this is kind of on a kilter when you put it on the black anyway, so it's not 100% needed to be perfect. And that's how you put that together. So I don't know if you noticed, but in their demonstration, they had the flower itself is heat embossed onto the cardstock front, but then the inside and the leaves are just stamped. They're not embossed. They're just stamped in ink and cut out. But the inside or the stamen or whatever, the middle of the flower, whatever flower you happen to use, is heat embossed in black. So I already pre-did that because I'm sure you guys don't need to see that. And so I just fussy cut it out so that I would be able to put it on the flower. And same with the leaves. I did the little ones in wild wheat and the bigger ones in mossy meadow. And that's how the card is done. So like regular, you have your white embossing powder. Because that's what we're using for this card. You have your Versamark, and you're just basically taking your big flower and putting it in the corner, and then taking your powder and if you have a paintbrush, which everyone should have in their craft room, because you could also use your embossing buddy, which would help. But this is a godsend if you have a really fine tipped paintbrush to help you with any of the excess that maybe you don't want somewhere. And that's how it is. And then you heat it, and you just keep going until you fill up the whole front of the card. I'm not going to do that because we've already heard the noise.
No, the noise doesn't come through when you do it, Kim, just as an FYI.
Oh, you don't hear it?
I am intrigued with all of your reuse recycle tips that you've shared tonight. I have caught them, like for that stencil card, but Kim, this ink refill bottle that you have there, wherever you just dumped, yes, like brilliant use of refill, especially if you're going in a fine area or something. Why not rinse it out, let it dry, use it as a bottle?
This is actually from Stamping Up.
What?
It came in a kit. This one, and I had one that was copper, and I just dumped the rest of it in my copper container. But it was actually in a kit. I can't remember what it was, and they came with these little embossing.
Oh, I've never seen that ever.
So I just always kept it because it's a nice white.
Huh.
It melts well. There's some that
Okay.
don't melt well.
I guess there you go. I created your recycle tip for you. Like, yeah, reuse your ink refill bottles for that. That's a brilliant idea.
Stuff. So like what I basically did, I just did all the white in the small and the big, quickly heated it up, blah, 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 blah. Now, only thing I'll say with this is with anything with when you heat emboss like this, your paper can sometimes tend to concave or bend. So another solution is to go on the back side, just give it a heat on this side, and sometimes it will give, help push that back out again. And then sometimes you just need to just roll your paper, just keep manipulating it so that it will be more flat. Like this is, I did this last night and it finally has gotten nice and flat, but before that was a bit wobbly, if that makes sense. So then what I did from there is I cut out the big, two different sizes of the big leaves, and I just adhered them to my card. I did the black embossing on white paper, and I fussy cut that out. And again, I just did, I followed my pattern and put it right back where it's meant to be on the flower. And same with these weeny teeny little pin in the butt leaves in wild wheat. I glued those on, even though you can't really tell when you actually see the card, but they are glued on. And then I just put the greeting on with dimensionals, and that's all I did. And that's all they did with their card. But their card was that different flower set. So if you actually look at it in your catalog, which is page 126, you will see that those leaves are actually cut out, and they put a longer leaf. So all the leaves are cut out, and the little stamen are cut out as well. The only thing that's heat embossed actually is the flower itself. So I don't know if you can see that on there very well. But that's my version.
It's fun and it works. And that's just a reminder, like you say, use what you've got and you could make beautiful things.
And then it makes you feel good because you're using what you bought. So that's card number 2. Put that over there. It's just crazy here. Oh yeah, this is now we're getting into messy. This part was easy. The other part is a little messy. And this is like another reason why I also use this little piece of paper for my embossing, is it does help me put it in this little bottle. And you can use copy paper, whatever you happen to have. I'm actually using a piece of 6x6 BSP that we had a long time ago that came in gold and silver, and it was a bit thinner than normal BSP. There's this one that has the stripes and the dots. It's good for doing brush techniques with color because it will take the color, but I just folded it up in half and it gives me a nice way of putting things in small containers. So that's that. I'm done with log wheat. Put that out of my way. This is where we're going to bring in the paste. And I think I'm done with mossing it up, but I'll pull it out if I need it. So we're going on to page 127. And we're going to do, yeah, this one. So this one, my tips for you, have paper towel, because you want to be able to clean your tools off right away, because this paste is quick drying and you don't want that stuff stuck to your surface or your silicone sheet. But this is pretty good. It cleans really easy, but you don't want it stuck on your utensils that you're using or your putty knives or whatever tools you're using. So you want to make sure you have some that by your side. Definitely, I would recommend the silicone sheet. This is your godsend. Like, yes, yes, yes. Get more than one. But that's definitely something you need. And this is what I mean about the paper that I used. It curls up. It kind of feels damp still, even though it's not damp. It's just like you wouldn't be able to do too many cards with the paper template. Is what I'm saying. I would use something plastic or something firmer. But this is their cart, and then a container to hold water, because you want to have some water on hand. So you want to make sure you don't want any of your stuff nearby that's going to get wrecked, but you want to have some water because you want to be able to dip your stuff in right away to get it wet and clean. These are the tools that we get. It's a set of 3. You get a bigger spatula, and then you get more like a painter spatula, and then a longer flat spatula. It's up to you on preference. Everybody has their own preference and what works for them. I use these 2 mostly. But I suggest having some type of tool like this to use. I'm using Petal Pink in this card. I'm using my Petal Pink blends in the dark. I'm also using Dotto or whatever it is. We used to have that adhesive that, releases. It just helps keep this in place. The die set I use is, again, this old one, because I was trying to find something that was leaves, and I don't really have a lot. So this is what I use with this little leaf here. And it's from Framelit's Secret Garden from way back when. See, it's green. It's old. But that's the dice that I use. But you can use any of your dice as long as it kind of has like an open window look. You don't want anything too like this. I think this would be too busy. Like, it'd be too hard to do because it's so small and thin. So I wouldn't use anything that's like that detailed. I would probably keep it on the simpler side of things, in my opinion. But I did use this one too, because I needed a branchy type one, and this one is petals and more thinlits. And again, it's also an old one too. The flower that I use is two-tone flora, and I use these little guys here and this little greenery. And then I use the current Light the Sky for Let's Celebrate. That's my sentiment. I was also trying to think, well, maybe I do this because the dye's cut up, but then I realized the dye's a little bit like being too delicate, like it's not the best. And it's too small. I don't think it would work because I think, well, I could do that paste as like little, fireworks on my page, but I'm like, nah, I don't think it's gonna work. So I just used the stamp set instead. But here's your container. And then the other, like this one has glitter in it. Most of our, again, this is copper band. I know, mine dried up. I didn't have time to get more, but move on. This is basically this paste is all basically the same type of idea. It always usually comes in the basic white. This is flat, so there's no sparkle, there's no spectacular in it. It's just plain white. But if you have our dazzling diamonds still hanging around, or if you have any other type of very fine glitter, voila, put the 2 together and you got your sparkle. So it's just another economical way that you could do it if you couldn't afford or you didn't have time to get the sparkle paste as well. So there's another way of doing it. So I'm going to just pour some water in here. So then I'm ready. And I'll show you what the card looks like. So that's my finished version of the prototype card that they did. So so what I did here for this little greenery, I just took my Wild Wheat ink and I dragged it against some scrap white pieces of paper and let it dry. Ran it through, so then you get a bit of white sometimes, like it's variegated, so it's not 100% one color. And then I just stamped the greenery and fussy cut that out, and then I stamped off the petal pink, and then I did the centers in full petal pink, and I cut that out by hand as well. all that is on dimensional. So for this, I put right on that. The little pearls that you see here, they are the iridescent pearls, basic jewels, which I love. But then I just colored them, like as you can see here, with my blends, so that I would have something that would match the color tone that they had here. Because I didn't have any pink, but you can make them any color. So that's how I got the pink pearls, is just by taking my blends and coloring them. So that's what I did there. And then the Let's Celebrate Again, I stamped in wild wheat as well. And that goes on dimensional. I just, again, scrap piece of paper, snipped it out, and pretty simple in that little cluster there. But as you can see, you can feel it's raised. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not super, it has like a little bit of a raise to it, which is kind of neat. So it's kind of rough. And because I put sparkles on, and it's stuck so they don't fall off. And you can kind of see. And when you do it, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have some that are going to be like this. We have a little bit of piece that doesn't quite get it all fully covered, and you're going to have some that are perfect. That's okay. That's the way it's supposed to look. You want it to be kind of imperfected because it gives it more texture, it gives it more look to the card versus having everything 100% perfect. And then inside again, I just did the finished card. So I'll just fold my card here. And what you could do, which I never thought of doing it at the time, because it didn't, when I was reading it, it didn't really say. But if you're too afraid to do it on your actual card base, like here's my card base, what you could do is just cut out a front and do your front and then paste it on once it's dry. So if you're a little worried about, oh, I don't think I want to wreck a whole big piece of paper, you can just do that as an option as well.
I'll cut it off afterwards.
Yeah. So then I'm just going to paste the inside of my card. Just order. So there, that's done. And this is what I mean by it's part white and part wild wheat. It's okay because you're just gonna snip and use pieces that you wanted. This is how I did the green. I just fussy cut that out. And I have like other little pieces, and there's the flowers, and then that's the words. So it doesn't take a lot of extra little pieces. It's a great card for doing like scraps. Like if you have lots of scrap paper, you can just easily do it with all those little bits. I'm going to move the book. I'm going to bring in water, my sickle mat, card, this, and I'm going to take a spatula. So with this, I just went where obviously it didn't have anything showing. I just went through it all, and I'm out of it to get more. And I just lined it up. I started at the top. I always start at the outside edge versus the folded edge, because that's where you're going to probably see most things. Anyways, in the folded edge, you're just going to fold over. If you happen to go over there, it doesn't really matter. So you want to make sure all your little ends are stuck and nothing's sticking up. So like that. Then I'm going to take my Stampin' Up putty, just scoop out some. You can always get more if you need more. I'm going to put it on my silicone mat. I'm going to take my glitter, pour that inside, and then I'm going to mix it so that hopefully I'll have some inside as well. And it's just like painters, you know, you scrape it up and you keep moving it around till you're happy. Then you take your paste and you basically just drag it down. Like I said, I would probably recut this mat just because it curled up overnight. And you're just going to put it in all the places. Want to scrape off any excess. Don't waste it. Put it on the next part. More. And you're just kind of spreading it like peanut butter. Kind of what it feels like.
So if you were doing a lot, you'd be better off to take the window sheets and make a template from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the paper, like I said, because the paper soaks water and this does have moisture in it, it just makes more sense to do that. Gather up some of my sparkles I have over here. And it's up to you how thick you want to go. I don't think you need to go super thick personally, but you definitely want to make sure it's in all the spots. And then I want to scrape off as much as I can. And while it's like this, I'm going to pull it right off my putty knife and I'm going to put that in there. And always when you work with this, keep it closed right away because it dries fast. And then just for extra glitter fun, I just went and sprinkled over top of this before I pulled it off. So then it keeps obviously the image. And then I just carefully took my time and pulled it off. Like I said, this one's kind of yucky because it is like a messed up template, but that's basically what you're getting. And then you just leave it off, put it off to the side and let it dry. Like I said, it is quick drying, but you still need to give it time to dry before you put any of the other bits and stuff on. Because if you don't, you got to get it all over your fingers. It's going to smear and that type of thing.
Can you use your heat gun with it?
I haven't. I'm not sure if it would puff up or not. I haven't tried
Okay.
it.
I was just curious whether you could.
I don't know.
But the one thing that's really like what I find interesting though, like if you wanted to try that technique and you're just making one card or 2 cards, then yes, that paper technique is great because especially depending on what you're doing, it does dry fast, like you said, Kim. And so you can end up giving it away. Sorry, Tom's here and there's just all this extra noise that's in the background.
I thought he was sleeping.
Yeah, no, he's awake now. No, but anyways, because it dries so fast, like now you can just throw away that piece of paper. Whereas if you're somewhere where you can't get to a sink, because like you said, you have to have your little bucket of water for your knife and stuff. But like to try and clean something bigger might be harder to do. But if you're making a lot of them, then yes, you'd have a system set up and use your plastic, like you were saying. But if you're just doing a few and you're taking time and maybe you're new, you'll find that it actually does dry really fast. But it's interesting now that I'm saying that you're telling us that papers actually still have moisture in it. So it locked it in somehow in the paper.
Yeah, the paper is very, like, even more flimsy than what a regular paper would be anyways. Like,
Yeah,
it's
But
very,
what is your card like? It's not
Pardon?
bothering the card at all, is it?
pardon?
It's not bothering the card. The card doesn't feel wet. Does it?
Yeah, like once that's dry, I never had any problems with it curling or anything like that. And even this one here that I did, which is a little bit thicker, is still pretty straight. Like
Yeah.
it's not too
So
bad.
why would, yeah, that's funny.
So it was just the multiple uses of that one piece.
Yeah, so I would recommend this is like a 1 card, basically 2 you're pushing it type of thing. And then of course with your silicone mat, it's a little easier for cleanup because you can actually take it and wash it. But I'm going to be using this again, so I'm not really going to be. And even the glass plate, even because I did get some on here, it comes off perfectly fine off the glass plate too. Even when it's dry, like say I forgot a piece, or I thought I got it all and I didn't. All you need to do is just take a scraper and it comes off perfectly fine. So even on your glass plate, you'll be okay with doing this technique. If you happen to just accidentally getting some on there by not noticing, it's not going to wreck your glass plate at all. But it's definitely messy, like.
We love messy,
You
don't we?
definitely need some paper towel because you don't want anything, like I wouldn't use a cloth or anything because then you're going to get your fibers stuck maybe to your tools. I would suggest paper towel probably better for that. And as you can see, my tool is still pretty clean. It came off really easy. But again, I just automatically will throw it in there so that it gives you that cushion of time. So if I'm busy, whatever, I can then go and do it right away. So that's that card. I'm not going to put the other bits and pieces on because it needs to dry, but this is the finished. And this is very simplified version. I'm sure you could probably go crazier than this if you wanted to. But it's a fun technique to be able to change your pearls or whatever you will have into any color you need just by having the right markers. And alcohol markers would be the only ones I would use because they dry. And if you use our water-based markers, you're just going to get the ink on your finger. it's not going to work the same. I'm just going to move that card over here so I don't get it any messier than normal. This one is an interesting card. It's also a messy card, but it's a quick card and it's an interesting card. So it's this one here, and I don't know what the name would be, but I'm calling it like smush technique. I'm calling it like smear technique. It's basically because you hear smear in interior, exterior, where they smear something on a wall. They're just putting like a light coat. It's basically what smear really is, and this is kind of what you're doing here with these two colors. So this is basically taking your whatever paste, and you're changing the color of the paste to whatever color it is that you want it to be, and you can change it to all our colors. The two colors I'm using here are Wild Wheat and Pretty in Pink are the two colors I'll be using. I don't have these stamp sets, but I do have something very similar. So, and the DSP I'm using in this one is new, and I really liked it. And it's Christmassy, but you can use it for non-Christmas type things. And I think it's online exclusive, or maybe not. I can't remember. But it's Seasons of Green and Gold is what it's called. Is the DSP I'm using on this one. And I'm going to bring this over. This time I'm going to use this one because I'm mixing color, and I'm going to flip this over so I have a nice smooth side. Get my paper towel ready.
Isn't that the vellum?
Nope.
No? Oh.
So the dies I'm using is Stylish Shape Dies, the biggest circle, but they use that other one that has like that waffle line look. I don't have that one, but this is basically the same idea. Circle's a circle. So that's what I use for my circle. I went back into my paper pumpkin. This particular one was Change is Beauty because I wanted a greeting, and this is the greeting. May this new season hold wonderful new experiences is what I picked. I thought it was really nice. So that's the stamps that I use for my greeting. And then remember this baby celebration? It's so similar to that stamp set. I was like, I knew I had a hummingbird. So I pulled this one out to use. And this one has like, it's a 2-touch, but I just wanted the outline of the bird. I don't want the filler. And so you need to have a stamp set that's very line oriented in its art. So I use that. And I also use this little flower for background stamping as well. So those are the stamp sets I used. The ink I used was Mossy Meadow, and that's my version of their card. So I just stamped the flower 3 times on my actual card base. I cut this strip from 1 inch to 5.5. I just glued that down, and then I put my black twine out of our twine package and made a little bow. And then with my circle, I stamped the 2 images in Stays On, because they say watercolor paper, but I wanted to try it on white. It works fine on white. You just have to be quick with what you're doing, because remember, our paper is not watercolor, so it's going to absorb that moisture. But they did use watercoloring paper, and I didn't even read that, and I did it. I wasn't going to do the card again, so so it would probably work really well with watercolor paper, but it also works with our white too. And so I already pre-stamped everything. So there's our little bird and the words inside piece for the card. There's the strip for the outside. So I'll just quickly fold my card in half. So leaf or a little flower. See meadow. I'm just gonna go right up here. A little poke over here. Just kind of like, I don't really care how it looks because I'm going to cover that up in that circle anyways. So you just want to have that little image kind of peeking out around the circle. That. Then I'm going to take my strip. See. Line it up to the top and to the bottom. So that's like that. Then I'm going to take my black twine You're just going to go inside the card like so. And what's nice about this is that you tie your bow anywhere on there because you can always move it. So wherever you feel more comfortable where you tie your bow, that's what I would do. And then trim off your excess. Keep that. So that's, I don't maybe want the bow there, but because you can manipulate your string, then you can adjust where you have your bow. So sometimes instead of fighting, trying to get your bow to tie up there, just tie it where it wants to be tied and then move it. Seems to be, works for me. So that's basically all you're going to do. And then the next part, and then the inside of the card, I just left white and blank. You can certainly add sentiment or whatever you want. But I always like making sure it's a finished card. So when I grab it, I'm not like, oh, now I got to cut white paper. It's like already done. I just have to stamp something in it. Hopefully not to make a mistake. So that's that. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to bring my little circle. And then you're going to take your anchors. You're going to have your petal pink and wild wheat. And you only need one drop. And you probably could not even use that much. You see, I'm only doing a small thing though. If I was doing 20 cards, it'd probably be okay. But I'm just gonna, for sake of time, just take 2 little smush. And I start with the light color first. And I'm just gonna put my drop. Then I'm gonna take, I like this one because it's easier for you to mix. And you just keep mixing, scrape and squish, scrape and squish. And even though it looks orange right now, it does dry pink, I swear. Scrape, smush. So once you feel like you got that pretty good, then you're going to take your circle, and this is going to go over the words, and you're just going to take a little bit on the back of your tool, and you're just doing that. You're just literally sliding it across. Go back this way a little bit. But you want to be able to still be able to see the words, but you want to just splash of color on it. So you can go over it as many times as you feel works for you. That to me looks good. Then I'm going to take that color off. Then I'm going to go to my next blob. Do my 1 drop of wild wheat. Make sure you put caps back on or else you'll have an accident. And again, blend away. Scrape it again so that you get all the ink. Kind of like making icing. Then you take your little bird. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It could be messy. Again, it's up to you how much you want to put on there. And I'm happy with that. And that's your smear. So again, then I'm going to put that straight into there. I'm going to let this off to the side to dry because you want it to dry because it will curl the paper a little bit. And then I'm going to take my dry towel or paper towel, and I'm just going to gradually batter the majority of that up, and then it's easier to clean if you don't have as much on it. And then I just throw this in the garbage because you don't want it to be on, you know, your fingers or anything else that you happen to have. And that, and then of course go in and clean up your tools to make sure that you got anything that might be still there off. And there you go, back to being white again. And just make sure they're dry before you put them back in the package. And that's how I got that card.
It's cute.
So their version is kind of the same, but a little bit different.
I don't know, that wild wheat doesn't look, it looks green to me.
No, when you see it in person, it's actually like a mustardy yellow.
Is
It's well,
it?
yeah. And it dries that way too. It's pretty true to color
Oh, good.
and
It's
stuff.
really cute.
But again, it's up to you how messy you want it. It's no right or wrong way of doing it. And that's it.
Thanks for sharing those techniques, Kim. I definitely will give that one a try as well. And just for everyone who's watching, Kim is, giving us a lot of instruction, just kind of highlighting what's in the catalog already. If you were doing this in a class, you likely wouldn't do all 4 unless you're dealing with some pretty avid stampers, like some advanced people. But it's good to know all of these techniques so that you can share at least one, or try it out yourself just to kind of see what it's all about. I love the terrific textures. I'm glad they're in the catalog, but you know what, Kim? I probably wouldn't have tried them myself if it wasn't for you showing us how easy it is to do. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. There you go. There's all 4 of them. My interpretations of the.
Does anyone have any questions for Kim?
No. Thanks, Kim.
You're welcome.
You were terrific. Okay, I know we're a little late today. I mean, we're a little late all the time, but let me do the final spin of the name wheel. For those of you who purchased the kit, and then we'll do another one for those of you who are on the call. I left something good to the end for those of you who are left. Who stuck it out to the very end, although I have a funny feeling for Lorette, her thing died because she can usually only last till like 9:20 and then her
Yeah.
but she's got to figure that out. Okay, so I'm just doing a spin. We're gonna see here who the I already clicked spin, but let's see who the winner is of the gold leaves. Sherry. So Sherry, you're the lucky winner for those. Congratulations. Okay, so for our last round, who has stuck it out to the very end? We've got Kim, we've got Karen, we have Chantel, Cheryl, and Sue. Good on you all. Okay, so for this one, I didn't actually show you guys this prize, but I have the falling snow background stamp that I'm giving away.
Oh.
One lucky winner so that you have something current to play with. So let's see who that lucky winner is.
Aaron.
Aaron, congratulations. Yay. Congratulations. Super exciting.
She's muted.
Oh,
She's trying to talk to us, but it's not working.
Thank you.
She'll get there.
There she is.
She'll get there. So Karen, just so you know, I have stuff loaded in my bin with people's names on it as they win things. So if you're ever in the neighborhood or want to stop by, just message me and say, hey, I'm going to swing by and grab my stuff. But you just have to do it before 8 o'clock before I leave to work.
Okay.
And otherwise, I try to remember when you're picking stuff up. Like, I know like you were here, but I just hadn't gone through my bin. So I have all kinds of stuff for everyone. So anyways, otherwise I just give it to you when I see you next time.
Okay, sure.
Are we done recording?
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna end recording.